This is the Griffon, Hasegawa's 1/20th scale Pkf.85bis, the bis variant of the Volker lineage. This is what it looks like when it's done. In 2008, I went to work in a professional scale modeling studio in Japan. What I want to show you in this series is the actual studio method, the thinking behind the decisions, not just the steps. This video covers the construction. Paint is part 2, weathering is part 3. One decision to make before we start. The Griffon can be fully assembled and displayed without the pilot or cockpit internals. A closed hatch display is completely legitimate. If you want to skip those sections, come back at the fuselage chapter. If you're staying in, here's the figure work, compressed. Figure modifications. Brass rod through the neck joint for head tilt, a standing rule in the studio. Left arm cut at the elbow and repositioned. Rough thumbs up. Entry-level work, zero risk, because the pilot is optional. You're not gambling the build on it. Figure primed black, then pure white from above to establish top-down values. Water-based acrylics for the flight suit. Standard figure methodology. Base color, highlight from above, wash, work back. Good enough for anything tucked inside a cockpit. Helmet, old school Japan aviation modeling. Fine surface primer, dark grey Mr. Color shadow coat, brushed loosely, then careful rounds of full gloss off-white, building opacity without touching the recesses. The dark coat pokes through where you want it. You're painting light, not chips. OSL in green to finish. On paint, the products supplied for this project were AK Interactive earlier water-based acrylics. I advise against purchasing them. Cockpit. Mr. Color lacquers directly onto the plastic, primer and color in one pass. Ventilation mandatory. RLM 66 dark grey. Then wet blending, Mr. Color brown over the dark grey whilst still tacky across headrests and internal padding. This technique is old school Japanese aviation modeling, first pioneered in the 1970s. I was able to speak directly with one of the people who developed it, a studio painter who worked on Hasegawa models from the beginning, Nakata-san. His family had a history with Australians after the war. We supported him. I felt like I was doing my part for international relations. Cockpit weathering. Enamel products. Near black shadow into the detail lines and earth tones for the floor. The pilot tracked the outside world in. If you're displaying it with the hatch open, this step is non-optional. A flat interior reads immediately as unfinished. Before the halves go together, two things that become significantly harder afterwards. First, display mounting rod. Score the inside of the rear central AG pod with a ceramic knife. It gives the epoxy putty some tooth to grip. Hardware store epoxy, not fine grade sculpting putty. Sets in 10 minutes, does the job, also centrally weights the model. Second, engine cleanup now, before it's locked inside the assembly. Ceramic knife, straight back edge, sanding sponges on the curve, stop at 400 grit. The engine takes a burnt metal treatment, it doesn't need to be polished. One detail worth noting, the weapon bracket mount under the Excimer laser has an ejector pin mark that sits upward facing on the finished model, right at the visual center of the kit. On the Griffon or Otsu with the additional cockpit armor, it's covered. Otherwise, fix it before assembly locks you out. This was my 5th Volker at the time of filming. I've now built 6. The 6th went together considerably better than this one. The kit is not improved, I have. The fault care sits right on the edge of a genuine skill upgrade. That's a positive thing, not a warning. Engine first. 2 reasons. 1. Angle. The engine is meant to decline slightly from the main axis. Fix it in first and you get the geometry right. 2. The Yakult bottle engine is your handle for the rest of the build. Fix it early. The 2 small detail parts that attach to it, leave those until last. 1 specific trap. The internal cockpit assembly needs to be pushed firmly to its lowest position before the halves will close cleanly. It sits elevated by default. Front and rear location pins both need to be fully home. If they're not, the halves won't close, and you will waste time troubleshooting the wrong problem. Faux panels. 2 panel lines in the forward inner booms, deliberately not glued or filled, left as exposed seams to read as access panels. That is a decision, not an error. Gunze Mr. Cement Ultra Thin. Halves squeezed to extrude a small bead of plastic through the joint. Standard. Sanding sponges throughout. They conform to curves. 3mm foam for general work and 1mm for tighter curves. Wet sanding. 120 through 800 grit. The God hand color coding reduces the decision overhead when the task is repetitive. Once you know the sequence by color, you don't have to think about it. Tamiya basic putty or black CA glue for sections needing fill. Primer check with Tamiya fine surfacer from a can. No setup, no cleanup. Result, approximately 90%. That is acceptable for most seam lines depending on visibility. Key point, do this before adding the detailed parts that sit along the seam. Cleanup after those are on is significantly harder. Work in the right order. Aggressive sanding removes 4 external detail parts, replaced with scratch build 0.5mm plastic card. Drilled out the engine nozzle exhaust ports for apparent depth. 2 types of work: repair scribing, re-establishing lines removed by seam sanding, and detail amplification, deepening existing lines for aesthetic improvement. Worth the distinction. The Griffon's panel lines are light for an older tool. They benefit from a rescribe depending on your painting strategy. On panel lines generally, what's interesting in reference photography isn't just the lines, it's where panels intersect. Panels don't join perfectly in the real world. Maintenance, replacement, machining tolerances. Those mismatches give a vehicle life. I varied the depths of the Griffon's panel lines deliberately, some noticeably deeper than others, to create visual disparity. The brain picks it up. It's accentuated further in the paint steps. Studio method for the curved seam repairs. Fresh blade to redefine the line. Scriber to widen it. Rather than moving the tool, roll the model under the blade. Let the kit's own geometry define the cut. On a combat vehicle, you can err slightly. It's meant to look like something assembled under pressure. Slight imperfection is correct. Scribing tape, 6mm covers most work, 3mm for tighter geometry. That covers the construction. Volume 2 is paint, metallic basing through camo finish and hand paint to detail. Volume 3 is weathering. The GRIFFON Workbench Edition covers the complete build in depth. Available now. Ships immediately. The kit is on pre-order. Both links in the description. I'll see you at the bench.